Last week, we talked about effective communication strategies in relationships, and I promised the part two. Did you think your girl was going to fail you? No way. Wagwan, me people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. If you are new here, you are welcome. Kindly subscribe. If you are old here, you are the Roji, and that's on period. As I've said earlier, today we are talking about effective communication strategies in relationships, part 2. Without wasting my time, let's get right into the video. The very first effective communication strategy in relationships we are going to talk about today in this second part is feedback and criticism. Give and receive feedback constructively. If you notice some weaknesses in your partner and you want to address them, you have to do it constructively, not in a haphazard manner. Note, when you are trying to correct someone and you do it in a haphazard manner or in a rude way, the person is definitely going to be offended, and in the end, they are not going to take the advice at all. So you have to do it constructively. In the last part, we talked about being constructive with your words in detail, so please kindly check it out. Focus on specific behaviors and actions. In a relationship, you do not have to complain about everything. There are certain things you can just let them slide, but there are certain things you have to address them. And as we've said earlier, when you're addressing them, do that constructively. Focus on certain things that are key and address them accordingly. Avoid vain criticism or blame. Don't be the partner who always blames the other party for literally everything going on in your lives. Also, make sure your criticisms are laudable and tangible enough. Don't just criticize them about everything. Practice gratitude and complimentation. When we talk about feedback, gratitude and complimentation are also part. When you see something beautiful about your partner, you have to be able to compliment them. Don't wait for outsiders to compliment them, then later you'll be jealous about it. When you see something nice, compliment them the same way you criticize them when you see the negative stuff. Do you get it? And when your partner goes out of their way to do something beautiful for you, appreciate them. Let them feel seen. Let them feel like what they did is something reasonable. You appreciate what they have done to you. Don't be an ingrate. Okay? The second strategy is cultural and personal differences. Recognize and respect cultural and personal differences. Culture, they say, is the way of life of a group of people. People have different cultures, different values, norms, and opinions. So you have to respect them. For instance, if your culture prohibits greeting with the left hand, don't chastise someone doing that. Try and understand them. Try and understand why they do that. Don't just judge them. The same way some people wear earrings and others do not. Some females wear trousers, others do not. The scenario goes on and on. You have to understand that we have personal differences, we have cultural differences, we are coming from different backgrounds. So don't just rubbish someone's beliefs or someone's values. Try and understand why they do so. And if you don't want to do it, no one is forcing you to engage in it. Just try and understand. Be open-minded and curious. Try and know why people do what. Avoid assumptions or stereotypes. Don't keep it here that because you have heard that all men are scam, all women are gold diggers, and all of that, everyone is the same. It doesn't happen like that. So when you meet someone, you have to try and know them. Don't think that, okay, I've heard that all Ashantis are like this, all Bonos are like this, all Igbos are like this, all Yorubas are like this. It's not ideal. Try and know the person that you've met. We are all different in our own ways. Avoid stereotypes completely. Using positive language and nonverbal cues. Use positive language to affirm your partner. Example, expressing gratitude, as we've discussed already, complimenting them, not insulting them. Avoid that practice. You don't have to insult your partner. If there is something that you want to communicate, do it what? Constructively. Make use of nonverbal cues. You don't always have to talk. I don't talk much. I just show action. Use body language, facial expressions, and some physical touch to show affection and support. Sometimes nodding, smiling, touching your partner in an affectionate manner goes a long way in showing support. Okay? Be romantic. Be mindful of the tone of your voice when speaking. Sometimes you are not intentionally trying to be offensive or disrespectful, but the tone with which you speak may depict that. The fourth strategy is it is acceptable to disagree, but do not dismiss. No one likes to be dismissed or disregarded. It is very disrespectful and unacceptable to do that. If your partner says something and you disagree, let it be known in a constructive and respectful manner. First of all, acknowledge their opinion, then give your opinion too. Even if you disagree, keep an open mind. That makes you gain a better understanding of why they feel or think that way. The fifth strategy is apply and practice love languages. Love languages have already been discussed on this channel, and I'm going to link it in the description box below, so kindly check it out. After checking it out, you are going to gain a better understanding of what love languages are and the types of love languages we have. You have to identify your partner's love language and act accordingly. Practicing love language is also a way of communication, so if you don't know your partner's love language, you'll be disadvantaged. Before we end the video, your girl has got some extra tips for you. These are some tips for overcoming barriers for effective communication. The first thing we are going to talk about is managing stress and anxiety. When you are stressed, anxious, or depressed, it's automatically, or there is a high probability that you are going to be a bad communicator. If you are stressed or anxious, find a way to alleviate that and prevent yourself from pouring out that anger on someone else and regretting later. The second tip is overcoming over-defensiveness and reactivity. When your partner tries to correct you, you do not have to over-defend yourself. Try and understand whatever they are saying, think through it, and act accordingly. Addressing power imbalances. Power imbalance is when in a relationship, one person dominates and takes full control over the other person. Relationship is not slavery or coup d'etat, where one person gives orders. It's a companionship, where we try to understand each other, give opinions, and work as a team. So if there is power imbalance in your relationship, try to address it because it's going to create a barrier in effective communication. The next step is to develop emotional intelligence and self-awareness, which was discussed in the last part, so kindly check it out. Another tip is to identify your strengths and your weaknesses and work on them. Also, don't forget to pray about your weaknesses while working on them. You have come to the end of this video. Kindly subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and turn on your post notifications so that whenever I post, you get notified. Till we meet again for the Christmas episode. It's bye-bye.